exciting player in women's basketball. And it's not just because of the logo 3. Certainly that's what we like to see. Those are the highlights night in and night out. But she scores at all 3 levels. She makes her teammates better. She assists on 46% of her teammates' made shots. The Buckeyes certainly have a challenge in defending and containing Caitlin Clark. Not forget the big shot Bob right there.
Yeah, that wasn't bad, right? When they came from behind or beat Indiana on that buzzer beater. How about 9 triple-doubles in the career for Caitlin? That's a Big 10 record. 3 of them this year. 27 games with at least 20 points this season alone. That leads the nation. And oh yes, when she played Ohio State, she had a triple-double against them as well. And now they get to play Ohio State. A very improbable final, especially when they were down by 24 against Indiana, and they really turned up the defense in the second half.
Yeah, it's when Ohio State is at their best, when they can set their full court pressure, they can turn opponents over, they can create offense from their defense. They were able to do that in the second half against Indiana. It's a lot easier when you make shots. You can get that defense set. Ohio State's so good, one of the best in the country at points off of turnovers. They were getting after it, they were in passing lanes, and J.C. Sheldon, I think she is the key, she is the glue, she is the X factor coming back to play in the Big 10 tournament. Not only does she set the tone on D, but she's another primary ball handler and threat from the perimeter.
And indeed was an historic comeback, largest comeback in the history of this tournament, down 24, and it was to Indiana, the top seed, number 2 team in the country, and the only team in D1 to overcome a 20-point deficit at halftime to come back and win. Taylor Theory going to jump up against Monica Czinano. Czinano and Caitlin Clark with that big 1-2 punch from the perimeter and in the post, and we are underway in the Big 10 championship. Automatic bid on the line. Both these teams will be in the NCAA tournament. And looking to host Iowa, coming in 25-6 on the season. And take a look at their starting 5. Already talked about Caitlin Clark. Kate Martin, sort of the Swiss Army knife, if you will. McKenna Warnock did not play in the first game against Ohio State, as you mentioned, but how was Gabby Marshall yesterday?
Well, and Gabby Marshall has been so impressive. Struggled early in the season, but has caught fire as of late. She hit 58% from the 3 in the last 9.
Tied a career high with 7 threes yesterday off the turnover. Monica Czinano able to come up with the rebound for the Hawks, who lead the nation in scoring and field goal percentage and assists, but their offense a little slow to get started.
Well, those long passes are not going to be there against Ohio State. They are too good at getting in the passing lanes.
Really relying on their defense. Ohio State coming in as the 4th seed in this tournament. Kevin McGuff in his 10th year in charge of Ohio State, 21st year overall as a head coach. And they got off to a 19-0 start. Best start. And who beat them?
The Hawks got them.
Hawks
broke that streak.
Yep, they were 19-0 until they played Iowa, and then Iowa beat them in Columbus. Again, that was back in January, in which Caitlin Clark had a triple-double. Ricky Harris takes a little bit of contact, rebound taken down by Czinano.
Clark and Czinano combined for 50 in that ball game.
So Iowa had turned the ball over in its first 3 possessions. Gabby Marshall is white hot right now.
She sure is, and Lisa Bluter talking about Gabby Marshall all throughout the year, and hey, we needed to get her going, and boy, has she ever gotten going. Speaking of getting going, Taylor Mikesell.
It could be a fun battle between Mikesell and Marshall. Mikesell averaging over 3 threes per game. That is first in the Big 10. It rims out for Caitlin Clark. Clark had 22 against Maryland yesterday, but was rather quiet in the second half, most of her points coming from the line, and that's when the rest of her teammates really galvanized and won that game.
Yeah, it really was, and this is an Iowa Hawkeye team that every defense is going to focus on Clark and Czinano, so when multiple players can knock down shots from the perimeter, as they're capable of doing, they are so tough to stop.
Mikesell, that's a long 2 for her. Ohio State, her 3rd school. Almost another turnover. Mikesell played a couple years at Maryland, 1 year at Oregon, and another first-team Big 10 selection. Lisa Bluter in her 23rd season at Iowa.
Lisa Bluter talked to us about ball security, valuing the basketball, handling the press. Well, the press isn't getting him. It's in the quarter court. Making sure you give yourself a chance to get a shot off, and there's another turnover.
Kate Martin called for the offensive foul. It's 4 turnovers already for Iowa.
Well, fortunately for the Hawkeyes, Ohio State's not converted on those turnovers, but Ricky Harris, one of the best at getting good position, taking the contact.
Honorable mention, all Big 10 this year, the redshirt junior from Indianapolis.
And what a job she's done, stepping up in the starting point guard role when J.C. Sheldon went out for injury.
Walker back rims it. Czinano comes up with another rebound. And here's Caitlin Clark. All eyes on her whenever she has the basketball.
You see Ohio State fronting Monica Czinano inside, trying to not allow her to get a touch.
And Walker drawing that matchup. Clark to Warnock, who turned around and found herself unguarded. Instead of taking the jump shot, she decided to drive. Warnock did miss the game when they played during the regular season. Harris, nothing doing. Chased down by Warnock. Both teams had double byes, so they didn't play until Friday, but still their 3rd game in as many days. Clark backs up and hits nothing but net.
3rd game in as many days, and Ohio State had to expend a lot of energy in their second half comeback against Indiana. They played 94 feet that entire second half, so how much will they have in the tank?
Iowa fans outnumbering Ohio State by a large margin, and Taylor Theory with the shot.
And Pam, that used to be the game plan, right? To make Taylor Theory shoot the basketball, because she was not a very good three-point shooter, only 1 of 5 a year ago, but she's now shooting at 38%. You have to respect it as Caitlin Clark goes to work.
This time Clark shows she can take you off the bounce, and Theory hitting that shot, the first person other than Mike Sell to hit a shot for the Buckeyes. Walker, good look, but it rimmed out.
Ohio State getting all jump shots, all perimeter contested jump shots.
Clark looking for Czinano, and sometimes she makes a pass and you're thinking there's no way that's going to connect, and it almost always seems to.
She just has such great instincts. Her timing is perfect. She understands how to get the ball to her teammates. She knows where she's going to go with it every possession.
She and Czinano have just an incredible bond on the court. Czinano has great hands. Clark bit on the fake from Theory, and a jump ball as Warnock got her hands in there. First time out, Iowa with a 3-point lead.
Caitlin Clark's got 5 early points. You cannot give her that much space on the step back, but she's proven that she can get to the rim too, moving without the basketball, finishing an easy 2.
Take care of your team, they take care of business. Ohio State and Iowa both celebrating yesterday with their semifinal victories. They get to put the sticker up on the bracket, and Caitlin Clark just add another line to her resume. 2,500 career points now for Caitlin Clark.
She's 2nd in career scoring in Iowa already. I mean, that's incredible.
She's in her 3rd year.
She's in her 3rd year.
Megan Gustafson?
Yes, Megan Gustafson. He was one of the great scorers in Iowa women's basketball history.
Caitlin Clark scores or assists on 53% of Iowa's offensive production, 2nd in the country, only to McKenna Hofschild out of Colorado State. I mean, that's just a phenomenal percentage of production that she brings to the table for the Hawkeyes.
They're absolutely a totally different team, and she's on the floor. Czinano with her 2nd basket. Iowa's on an 8-0 run.
Well, we talk so much about her ability to score because she is an outstanding scorer, almost 27 a game. But she is a great passer. I mean, there are a lot of really good scorers that we've seen throughout the country in women's basketball, but not very many who do both at an elite level, and she is one of them.
Caitlin Clark is averaging over 8 assists per game. go along with 27 points, 7.5 rebounds, and she does also a great job of getting to the free throw line.
That's where she's improved the most, in how she finishes off of 2 feet at the rim. Early in her career, she was trying to take the contact, shoot it off of 1 foot, fall out of bounds, get the foul, not finish the and one. She is a much better finisher around the rim. She told us earlier in the season she put on 8 pounds of muscle, and you certainly can tell.
Taylor Theory with her first personal foul, and Caitlin Clark getting to the free throw line almost 8 times per game. And Angel Reese and Diamond Miller get there more often than she does.
And that's a sign of great scores. You find different ways to put the ball in the bucket. When you're a tough matchup like Caitlin Clark is, you find ways to get to the foul line, and now she's getting and ones.
She's an excellent free throw shooter as well. Can rebound the ball. She's got good speed too. Gets down there quickly, a falter in the game. Clark tried to get it into Czinano, it was kicked. Frustrating Caitlin a little bit, but they hang on to it with 21 seconds left to shoot. Mikolashikova in the game for Ohio State, had been starting, now coming off the bench for Coach McGuff, gets some size. Clark yelling to the crowd. She knows how to play to the people.
You think?
A little bit.
She feeds off of these Hawkeye fans, and you can tell it. Caitlin Clark, you can't give her that much space, Taylor Theory.
Caitlin Clark already has 11 points, a couple of threes, and has shown her emotions in this game. But she is an emotional player. Her team up 20-7. It is a 14-0 run. Harris, nope, good rebound by Theory. Second chance, nothing doing.
Buckeyes are getting a lot of opportunities around the rim that they're not able to convert on.
Also did not take advantage of those 4 early turnovers by Iowa. Didn't score on any of them. And now J.C. Sheldon, number 4 into the game, has been in the last couple of minutes. And such an important component. They really missed her during the season.
Yeah, they did, and not just because J.C. Sheldon can score the basketball, but she sets the tone on D. You'll see them full court press most of the time when she's out there. She changes the pace of the game.
And right there, a steal.
And look, you can't press if you don't score the basketball, so dead ball, perfect opportunity for the Buckeyes.
Give it right back. Clark looking, had that look in her eye, like she was gonna put up another shot. That's a great pass by a falter into Czinano.
Well, that's going to be the matchup to take advantage of. When Mikolashikova is guarding Monica Czinano, she's not going to work to get in front. She's going to try to play behind and use her length and size.
Ohio State desperate. 4 points, now to travel.
Monica Czinano, just next in line of a lot of great post players in Iowa women's basketball history. Does a great job of getting position. Sylvia Falter delivers that pass right on the money.
Since her freshman year when she barely played, she played 5 minutes a game behind the great Megan Gustafson. Czinano has taken her game to another level, led the nation in field goal percentage for a couple of years. And a lot of the credit goes to associate head coach Jan Jensen, who's just a terrific post coach.
Yes, she is, and really worked and retooled Monica Czinano's shot. She has become one of the most efficient players in the country year after year. Not a lot of wasted movement, doesn't put the ball on the floor, knows what she's going to do with it when she catches.
Molly Davis, number 1 in for Iowa, transfer from Central Michigan. Theory finally stops what had been a 16-0 run for Iowa. And now in front of Czinano. Gabby Marshall gets bottled up, got rid of it before she took steps. Falter took some contact from Mike Sell, enough that it's a foul.
I like how aggressive Iowa is putting the ball on the floor and going to the rim. They are putting pressure on this Ohio State defense to defend them one-on-one in the half court.
Czinano is going to get a rest. Hannah Stolke, the Big 10 Sixth Player of the Year, freshman from Cedar Rapids, which is 20 minutes or so north of Iowa City, comes in. Walter at the free throw line, sophomore from Chicago, has seen her minutes go up as the year has gone on. As we go inside a minute in the first quarter, Iowa is hitting a ridiculous 82% from the floor.
And we're not talking about layups now.
3 of 4 from 3 for Iowa. Harris decides to drive on Clark, who has become a better defensive player this year. Shot clock is dying. And nope, shot clock off now for the Hawks.
If I'm Taylor Theory, I'm forcing Caitlin Clark back into the help right here.
Oh, fantastic! Found Stolke to close out about as good a first quarter as you could want. Iowa shot 83% in that quarter. Caitlin's got 11.
You know she can score it. You can't back off. She lulls you to sleep with that dribble, knocks down the three, and one of the best in the country at finding her teammates.